What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, one of the current and constant themes that you hear from Chamberlain naysayers is they talk about how he didn't get it done in the playoffs and how he couldn't beat the Boston Celtics and how so many of his teams lost and blah, 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 and all this shit. Yet, these same people, right, who talk about Wilt Chamberlain, they'll make all the excuses in the world for why LeBron lost 6 out of 10 finals, why Kevin Durant couldn't win and can't seem to win unless he's playing with Golden State. They'll make all those excuses in the world about that shit. But Chamberlain, uh, he only averaged 22.5 points a game in the playoffs. I mean, yeah, 30 points in the regular season, but 22.5 in the playoffs, that means he's a choker. So him being the fourth and fifth option in LA, where he played 88 out of his 160 playoff games, got nothing to do with his scoring average, career scoring average being skewed downward. They got nothing to do with it. Well, let me ask you this. If he's such a perennial playoff choker, then why is he third all time in scoring average in elimination games in the playoffs? Why is he third all time? Number one, LeBron James in elimination games in the playoffs averages 33.5 points per contest. Number two, Michael Jordan, 31.3 points per game in elimination games in the playoffs. Number four, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant averages 30.2, I believe it is. Let me make sure. Let me double check that. Don't want to say anything. It's not factual. Yeah, 30.2 points per game in his career in elimination contest games. 30.2. Number four, Allen Iverson. 29.8 points per game in elimination games in playoffs. Wilt Chamberlain is third, 31.1. Now, when you look at each one of these guys' career playoff scoring averages, LeBron averages about, 28 a game in the playoffs, as does Kevin Durant. Iverson is at 30. Jordan is at 33.4. But Wilt is way down at 22.5. So that sounds like to me that when it matters the most, the team went to Wilt and he delivered. Well, I know what you're thinking. Well, most of those games, he was probably with the Warriors. Nope. 10 of the 23 elimination games came when he was a Laker, when he was the third, fourth, and then ultimately fifth options, including one game when Wilt, I think, was averaging something like 14 points a game during the regular season. He dropped a 45-point game against the New York Knicks in the playoffs. Somewhere around that range. So the numbers tell me that when the stakes mattered, the team went to Wilt Chamberlain and he delivered. Not only did he average 31.1 points per game in elimination games, he also averaged a staggering 25.7 rebounds and 3.5 assists. But I'm crazy for calling this guy the GOAT. Well, it's all about numbers. Well, it's not just the fact that he put up big numbers. He wasn't just stat padding. Like this is what kills me. People say that he was stat padding. How could you be stat padding when you're scoring 73 points and the game is close? You don't have anybody else on the team that's even minutely capable, especially when he's with the Warriors, of playing at a high level. Wilt also had the unfortunate predicament where usually when he was playing on a team, he had a guy that was young and just developing, like Guy Rogers, and or he had older players who had seen their best days, Tom Cola. and Paul Arizin. That happened a lot with Wilt. He went to Philly, the Philadelphia 76ers, great team. Billy Cunningham saw his best days in the early to mid 70s. Chet Walker was really good with the Sixers, was great with the Bulls. One point, Chet Walker had the most points in a game for Bulls record, 56. So that's the dilemma that Wilt Chamberlain had. But Bill Russell got to play his entire 13-year career with Hall of Famers like Bob Cousy, Bill Sharman, Sam Jones, his entire damn career damn near. Sam Jones, uh, Casey Jones, John Havlicek, the greatest defensive forward in history, in my fucking opinion. Uh, a notch above Pippen, just a little bit above Pippen. I mean, the guy played with so many great players. Tom Heinz is another Hall of Famer, Rookie of the Year, multiple time All Star. People forget about Tom Heinsohn. People forget about Tom Sanders. Not to mention some other good players he played with, Don Nelson and and Frank Ramsey, the original six man. This guy played on loaded fucking teams. And Wilt would take these teams to 6 and 7 games. And he gets pilloried for that shit. But then you want to make an excuse for why KD gets swept by this pissy ass fucking Celtic team with no super. Come on, man, get out of here.